Good morning, everyone. Mona Valenas here from Canary Island, Lanzarote. Nice to meet you again. I'm a full-time astrologer and transpersonal therapist, and I would like to introduce you the mysteries of the family trees healing in this short video today. There's no person on this earth who has not dealing with the powerful influences of even seven lineage, seven not lineage. Sorry, I'm not used to use these terms in English. I'm usually working in Spanish. Okay, so what I want to say is the following thing. In our family tree, there are seven generation working, releasing us a lot of influences, and in so many situations, those influences are not really good for us, for our evolutionary level, and for our life mission, of course. For this reason, it's really important to to learn how to deal with so powerful influences, how to release them, and how to heal definitely our family tree. There's a lot of a kind of works. For example, I think everybody knows the systemic work with the family tree and the ancestor heritage. This powerful method with family constellations. So I'm really familiar with it, and I use it also in the therapy. But now I will present you different alternatives for the same results. Here I am with this powerful shamanic staff. I got this raven feathers, cleaning stuff this summer from Transylvania, my native country in Romania. And I consecrated this to the planet Saturn. We will talk further about Saturn, because Saturn is an important, really important and principal archetype dealing with all these family healing issue. So now all of us, we know the work of Bert Hellinger, this family constellation method to help to release important and stacked issues in our family tree. But we have also the birth chart, and knowing the concrete points, the concrete sensitive points of our birth chart, we can do a magnificent and really, really deep and transformative work with the astrology. Working with our own birth chart, we can know with extreme precision the personal story of our parents, our aunties, our uncles, our grandfathers, even our stepfathers or stepmothers, and even other ancestors far away in the timeline. So we can release these problematic memories, and of course, and first of all, the problematic emotional memories of our family tree, because belief systems of our ancestors, but first of all, what and how they were feeling, how they felt in particular situations and in particular times, moments of their lives, uh, regarding or concerning particular life events, how they were dealing with all this stuff. All of these issues um, really our birth chart, are powerful influences for our in our birth chart, and of course in our lives. I think the most important level to release stuff is the emotional one. And here we have the three watery houses in our birth chart. All of them are related with ancestors issues, particularly the eighth house, but also the fourth and the 12th house. But okay, then we will go there, and I will explain you some concrete things we can do and understand about the watery houses. Now, concretely, I would like to show you the shamanic way of healing that I particularly combine with the birth chart reading, because I think just the birth chart reading is not enough to remove, release, and heal all those influences, because even we know, we are all astrologers, we perfectly know we can dig really, really deep into the birth chart. We can reach really deep levels of unconscious stuff and unconscious matters, but even in this way, I think still some body work is needed to really, really release all all of that unconscious material, because we need to talk with our cellular memory, with our cells, and we need to release really through our body all those influences. In this way, when and in 2003, when I started to work uh, as a full-time astrologer, in the first year of my work, I realized that astrology was not enough, at least for me, and I started to combine these powerful methods, the birth chart reading, with sound therapy, with the enormous power of healing of sound, and concretely the ancient shamanic chants. And after that, of course, I s- I work even more and more and more with shamanism, and I usually use drums in the healing shamanic ritual, the healing ritual for the ancestors. I use this cleansing instrument, and I use so many other stuff, concrete issues. We all we do shamanic work. We naturally use to do this, or use that kind of things. The most important thing there is just understand that we can combine every method we really feel comfortable with it. For me personally, it's a sound healing and the shamanic way to deal with this, but it's not a general thing. I think we are, all of us, we are creative, genius, divine stars here embodied in a physical body, so physical vehicle. So I think the creativity has no limits in a human being, in a connected human being. So I really encourage you to connect with your own creativity after knowing exactly where important and deep ancestral heritage and emotional heritage is hiding in your birth chart. So there we go, dear ones, and now I will start to show you something concerning the watery houses in the birth chart. We start with the fourth house. It's belonging to Cancer, of course, and belonging to the moon. And in many way to deal with the birth chart, we used to deal with the fourth house concerning the father, or relating the fourth house to the father and the paternal uh, ancestor lineage in the family tree. Okay, but the fourth house is even much more than that. So in the fourth house we can really, really find the roots of our family tree, and the deep concrete like structures, the concrete structures, um, which are laying down in a really deep level. And if we have planets in the fourth house, or those planets are telling us a story about this structure, about this kind of roots, or if we have no planet in the fourth house, it's quite a common issue. We need to take a look to the ruler or the rulers of the fourth house, and just explore there. For example, in which house of our birth chart is uh, is um, we can find that ruler. Imagine the ruler of our fourth house is, for example, Jupiter, and Jupiter in our chart is in the we find Jupiter in our birth chart in the fifth house, for example. So there's a natural connection between our family trees, the structures we inherited from our ancestors, and our children, or our level of creativity, or our particular way to love and to make love also, because the fifth house is also the house of the erotism and sexuality. Okay, so this is really important, because we always start our journey exploring our fourth house, but I need to specify that all issue we will find in the fourth house, they are not so deep. For this reason, in a completely different level, we associate the fourth house also with some more superficial level of our unconscious. So, in our unconscious, in a superficial layer, we have there some issues related with our family tree structures, and these kind of roots of our family tree. Okay, so just remember, planets in the fourth house, of course, signs also, because it's not the same to have a fiery fourth house or a watery fourth house. Just a short insight: water is the most important element we can find out related with family tree issues, and with our ancestor stories. Okay, because water is the only element who can really retain memories. So when we find the watery signs in the watery houses, there's a really important message for us, because in some way we are particularly connected with our family tree. Also, the presence of the water element in our birth chart, for example, if we have a lot of planets in watery signs, this is also strong and powerful indication or information about our personal connection with our family tree. Okay, in this, just remember signs, planets, and rulers, and of course, aspects of the rulers and all those different planets connected to the fourth house, in order to fish some important information from this layer. And now we will go deeper and deeper and reach the eighth house. There are a lot of different type of interpretations about the birth charts, and also about how to deal and where to attack this important healing work with our ancestors. And there, I think opinions are quite divided, but personally, I'm working um, almost all the time with the eighth house issues, because the eighth house is related or concerning concerning to Scorpio, and the analogic planet Pluto. And we know about about Scorpio and also Pluto. Sorry, they are archetypes connected with death and rebirth and transformation. And I think in this eighth house we find a really special layer of our unconscious. Sorry, this is a deep, sometimes traumatic layer or level of our unconscious. And we find here particularly the soul of our family tree. Okay. If fourth house was related more to the structure and the roots of our family tree, in the eighth house we find really the core of the situation, because here we find the soul of our family tree. Also, here we find all information concerning to the emotional level of our ancestors. So the emotional memories. Do you remember? It's the most important thing, how we manage to release all those problematic emotional memories. Of course, belief systems, they are also can be present in this house, but I think this is the perfect place of our birth chart to find out how concretely how our ancestors felt different things, how their were, and how those feelings can affect us um, in a negative way. Sometimes it's also true that in the eighth house we find a treasure box. I love to see the eighth house as a treasure box. This is symbolism is quite working for me, because it's not just the shadow, it's not just the negativity, it's not just about all this negative stuff of pain and sorrow and unfinished stories that we after that we are carrying with all these, sorry for the expression, with all that shit. But also in the eighth house we can find out in this treasure box a huge light, a huge potential, a huge unlived potential being available for us from our ancestors. Um, we are somehow guardians of our family trees, and I think it's really our responsibility to deal with it, to deal with this in the most elevated and positive way possible. So in many times we can find here uh, astonishing, amazing, wonderful, unfinished stories about talents, gifts, and so many other positive things that we also can carry with it, and we can do something really positive and constructive with it. I love deeply Alejandro Jodorowsky. I don't know if you are familiarized with this genius. I met him personally many years before, and he's a magus. He's a magician of all these family twist transformational story. And Alejandro Jodorowsky always saying that the best way to clean up our family system is or to heal a problematic and stacked family tree is becoming its best fruit. So I love this form to, or this way to see the things, because I really feel is deeply true. So we need to become the best fruit of our wounded family tree, because so many years I'm working with so many persons, with so many family trees, and I never found even one completely healed, completely okay, completely positive and light. No, it's impossible. So all of us, we are strange and definitely negative and painful stories, carrying with all that from our past, from our family system. So in this eighth house, again, um, taking a deep breath, and taking also a deep view about the planets, the rulers, and the signs present in the eighth house, we can find out a lot of stories about our family system. Okay, just remember the eighth house is the place where we find our family tree's true soul. Okay, and going deeper and deeper, we get finally to the 12th house. The 12th house is somehow still connected to the family trees, but it's, I think, the 12th house is more it's more telling us stories about the collective unconscious. You know, it's the soul of the world. It's not just the soul of our family, but it's the soul of the world, the entire world. And there we can find really important information about our race, our nation, you know, larger groups. Um, and of course there belongs also our family tree, of course, and our ancestors. This is particularly important if we have planets and personal planets in the 12th house, because in this way we will be particularly connected with this information of our nation and our race. And again, this is particularly important if we have different different genetic information in our family tree. For example, you know, those families uh, which are connected with different cultures. You know, not all family members representing the same cultures, but they are a lot of combined influences. In this case, I think it's really important to take a deep look to the 12th house. But again, I repeat, I insist, the real transformative work is happening in the eighth house. The eighth house is also the house of our shamanic heritage, resources, and knowledge. So it's a perfect place to go there and dig deep and deep and deep and find out information. Okay, there are some persons particularly connected with the family tree stories. For example, all of us, we have a strong Scorpio in our natal chart. For example, Scorpio moon and Scorpio rising. There is my two favorites, because all these people, we are acting like channels for the purging and healing of our family system. This can be a really uh, difficult issue in the very beginning of our life, in our childhood and adolescence, and in the young period of our life, because we often live and experience ostracism, and you know, this kind of black sheep symptom. But uh, but it's really important to realize that exactly this kind of people is uh, is uh, the healer, or they are the true healers and purgers of the family tree. They are belonging to that caste of people becoming the best fruit of their family trees. Of course, if they are an enough level of consciousness and engaging, true engaging deep inner work with all of these, because if we just have Scorpio rising sign or Scorpio moon and we do absolutely nothing, just complaining and everything, of course healing it's not happening. And in this situation we can charge some symbolically, in a symbolic way, even more problems and shit from our family system. Okay, so Pluto, in this way, talking about Scorpio, Pluto is also a really, really important planet in the family healing. So we need to take a look to Pluto in our birth chart, and also take a look to Scorpio in our birth chart, because all of us, we have somewhere Scorpio and Pluto in our birth chart, and we can find really important information, even more if Scorpio or Pluto, they are connected with our natal moon. Okay, some Pluto moon aspects, or that Scorpio moon that I mentioned before. In the other way, in the other hand, Saturn. Do you remember Saturn? Saturn is I think the most common archetype connected with the family tree and ancestors, particularly with dead souls and ancestors in the shamanic way, ancestors' knowledge and wisdom. So Saturn is again a really important point to find out and to explore in a deep and detailed way in our workshop, because there are a lot of informations again concerning our family trees, even more if we have Saturn placed in the fourth or eighth house of our chart, in a lesser way in the 12th house, or we have Saturn in Scorpio or Saturn in Cancer. This particular position again represent a strong connection with our family tree and the soul of our family. So of course, transiting planets. This is another wow, long and fascinating story. Maybe for the part two of this video, maybe in another occasion. I'm really glad to share my point of view, my observations about what's happening when when we have transiting Saturn and Pluto connecting with our natal moon, or our natal Saturn, Pluto, or our watery houses, because they are really important and powerful moments in our lifetime when we can successfully release this and heal all these family trees memories, because we cannot do the healing and releasing in every moment in our lifetime. It's not working like this. We need to have our unconscious really open, you know in order to can transform and modify something in a deep way. Okay, just to finish, I want to share with you that I'm a double Scorpio. I have even a stellium in Scorpio in the 12th house, Saturn in Cancer in the 8th house, squaring the moon, and my natal moon is also opposing Pluto. So I have a huge responsibility into my own family tree with all this healing issue. And thanks to all this stuff, I became a family healer, a shamanic family healer. So this is this generational work what I'm doing in working with people with the birth chart and the shamanic ceremonies really is I think one of the most important points of all my all my work like a therapist. So with this, I just want to tell you that it's not a drama there if you have a lot of Scorpio planets, a lot of planets in the eighth house, a natal moon connecting with Pluto, this, that. It's not necessarily a problem. It can be really a blessing. You can do a huge transformative personal work. You can heal your family, and also you can contribute to the healing of a lot of family systems around the planet, helping people in a very, very deep and effective way. Okay, so uh, this is what I had to share with you today. It's a huge pleasure to be here in this group with all of us. I love you all. Many, many blessings. Mona Valenas from Lanzarote, Canary Island, a place of paradise.